I was diagnosed with breast cancer at 26, 27, math, again, not strong subject. 27, man. And at 27, that's just something that kind of rocks you to your core. You never think that at my age that it would happen. Today, to this day, today's the day that I was diagnosed in 2007. And so 14 years ago, man, today was the day that I got the news. And I don't usually get emotional about it, but I am today for some reason. So yeah, but I'm perfectly fine now. I went through chemo and radiation. I had it in my lymph nodes. It was stage 2B, and I know we got another classmate that had it, and she's gone through it. I think she's 5 years. But anybody that goes through cancer or something like that, it's a struggle. It's hard. It will rock you to your core, emotionally, probably more than physically. And I think that being able to be surrounded by people who are friends, whether they know that you're struggling with cancer or not, but just having supportive people around you is something that I hold dear to my heart with my family and my friends. And that was a big challenge.
Hey everybody, I'm back with another edition of So What Success Stories with me, Summer Owens. And today I am talking to my friend and classmate, fellow JCM class of 97 graduate,
Yeah.
Hannah Marcom.
Hey guys.
It's so cool. It's so cool. Hannah and I graduated from JCM, Jackson Central Mary High School, in 1997. And actually, Hannah, I was just thinking about it. I'm like, I knew you in high school, of course, because basketball and you were really popular. But I don't remember us being friends or really even talking much in high school. It wasn't until our class reunions that I'm like, that's cool.
That's funny. I was thinking about the same thing. I was like, I don't remember if we went to elementary together. I popped around a few schools and all, but maybe middle school.
I went to Parkway.
So yeah, it was all high school. Wow, and that's crazy because I feel like we're so much deeper than just crossing paths on the campus. So yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, I'm super excited about how we've connected since our reunions. It was either 5th or the 10th or somewhere. And I think we've been really blessed though that we have been having these reunions and we've been staying connected. But then I'm like, okay, Hannah is super cool, and I want to get to know Hannah better. And know your story better. And I'm super excited to share it. So Hannah is a senior specialist at Nissan North America.
That's right. There's a lot that goes into those words. It's not a really big job title, right? But it sounds like it. And there's so many different things that I do that's kind of hard to pinpoint one thing. But basically I check the corporate level conformity of product, right? So we ship to different markets, and I'm kind of the auditor that looks at all the things to make sure that everybody's dotting their I's and crossing their T's, for lack of better words, without boring you guys on the nerd side of what I do.
Well, I think that's cool. You've been there for a long time.
Yeah, 19 years. That's amazing. Like I didn't even know they built cars in the United States when I moved to Middle Tennessee for school at MTSU. And so, man, it's just crazy that that's where I ended up, and I'm still there, and very fortunate. It's a great job. It's taking care of me through ups and downs of life, and just blessed.
So, okay. So tell us a little bit about yourself. So we know you're a Nissan, and you said you went to MTSU. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, I'm from Jackson, grew up there, born and raised. My family's from there. We all, have our roots just dug in deep there. I went to MTSU after graduating to play volleyball at school. It's a lot of, I don't know, my life goes in a lot of directions from there. I don't know if you want to jump into some of that now, or you want to ask. Okay.
We can go into that. Life goes in all kind of directions.
Yeah, because it does. It just moves. My life has been like water. It finds its way through the nooks and crannies, and that's kind of how I just explain myself. Like I said, I played volleyball there. I was athlete in high school, like you said. I was athletic. I don't know if I was, great, but it somehow landed me at MTSU. I played a year there. They offered me a scholarship, and for whatever reason, I thought I wanted to do something else. So I left and went to Memphis for summer school and didn't pass and didn't fulfill all the things that I thought I was going to do. But went back to school, uh, went back to MTSU a year later, did the same thing again, and just made all the wrong choices. I thought they were right, but just different things that I thought I wanted to do at the time were took me away from the path that I always grew up thinking I would take. And so,
Well, let's get into the questions because you got a lot to share. This is, and I didn't know you were ever in Memphis, so I missed you then.
It was just for a minute. It was just for a minute.
That's cool. Okay, so in this program, I have what success is.
Okay.
And that's when someone can learn how to overcome obstacles, eliminate excuses, and calculate choices. They can achieve so what success. And that is success in spite of any challenges that they face.
Mm-hmm.
You've proven that you are a so what success story, that you have been successful in spite of a lot of challenges that you've been through. Some I know, and a lot that I don't know. So into it. First part is overcoming obstacles. Talk to us a little bit about some of the obstacles that you've had to overcome and just how you did it.
We all make choices in life, and in those moments of making that choice, you think that it's the best path for you. But I think it's really important to, even though nobody likes to, listen to what your parents say. They have the experience, or your brothers and sisters, or your friends, and just listening to advice and thinking about the big picture of things, because a lot of times we get caught up in the moment of fun, right? And it's great. You got to do that for experiences, but I think for overcoming challenges is just really accepting the choices that you make, whether they turned out to be what you wanted or not, and just digging in to find out what the big picture of life is that you want, what it takes for you to be happy, and what it takes for you to define, what success is for you, and, just your life goals. And
so that's it. I'm like, that's going to be perfect. I may not even ask you the last question, but it's a little bit specifically about your situation. Some of the obstacles that you've had to overcome.
Like I said, so I started college. I made a decision to move somewhere else. I failed, at college at that time. I tried again. I didn't succeed at, 3 years of it. I made choices that took me in different directions. So I got a job, right? I got a job at Nissan. It was 19 years ago. It was great for me at the time. It's manufacturing. I was working online. It was hard. It's night shift. And I thought, I need to go back to school. I've spent X amount of money with student loans already. And, it was something that I thought, I need to do this. And I put it off for 11 years before I actually went back to school in 2013. Maybe that's 12 years. My math's not good. And that was never my strong subject at all. But yeah, so in 2013, I went back to school, and it took me 2 years, but I finished my degree. I've got a 4-year degree, and it's helped me, make the I guess jump up the career ladder to being where I am today. It's going from manufacturing to corporate's huge, so just realizing that even though I had a dream and I spent 10 years not fulfilling it, that I sucked it up and was like, I want to do this. And I did. I completed that part of life where I feel like I could move to the next level. That's just one thing among many challenges. Along the way, I'll just jump right into it real quick. Along the way, right after our 10-year reunion, right? So our 10-year reunion, I was diagnosed with breast cancer at 26, 27, math, again, not strong subject. 27, man. And at 27, that's just something that kind of rocks you to your core. You never think that at my age that it would happen. To this day, today's the day that I was diagnosed in 2007. And so 14 years ago, man, today was the day that I got the news. And I don't usually get emotional about it, but I am today for some reason. So yeah, but I'm perfectly fine now. I went through chemo and radiation. I had it in my lymph nodes. it was stage 2B, and I know we got another classmate that had it, and she's gone through it. I think she's 5 years. But anybody that goes through cancer or something like that, it's a struggle. It's hard. It will rock you to your core, emotionally, probably more than physically. And I think that being able to be surrounded by people who are friends, whether they know that you're struggling with cancer or not, but just having supportive people around you is something that I hold dear to my heart with my family and my friends. And that was a big challenge, but
I can't even imagine.
I'm here today, and it's a part of me. It's made me who I am, and it's made me appreciate a lot of other things. So yeah, that's just one.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Now I have several friends gone through, survived.
Mhm.
And that's the key and point in it is survived it. And Hannah, you are a strong, beautiful person. Um, so grateful that you survived.
Yeah,
And nobody, I say nobody, but most people didn't know that you were dealing with that unless they were closer to you. But I'm grateful and I appreciate you sharing that. And on the end of your diagnosis, I feel blessed to be able to sit across from you and talk to you and give you this platform to even share your story with even more people. You're not the first, you won't be the last. And people need to see you can survive, and I'm really grateful for that.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's hard, but it's doable, and it's keeping the right mindset, staying positive. As with anything in life, that's what gets you
Absolutely.
through. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, well, the second part of the So What Success System is about eliminating excuses. Eliminating excuses. What are some excuses that you have made or could have made?
Ooh,
Like, how'd
man.
you get rid of them?
Hey, that's a really long list, and I can say that I've made excuses, whether it's with work or with personal life, I made an excuse for all kinds of things, but I just want to say this first and foremost, that nobody cares about excuses, right? In the big picture of life, nobody wants to hear it. So to take your energy and try to think of an excuse and then manifesting all of this to just not do something or whatever, it's not worth it, right? So if just own it, own everything that you do. I don't want to share any excuses because I don't want to give anybody any tips for that path, right? So let's back up and think about the big picture of what does it benefit you, right? And so just remember that, like, yeah, I don't want to give any excuses. I probably got some that's everybody's used, right? But just focusing on just owning what you do, owning what you say is really more important than giving some excuses. Because
That, Hannah. I love it. I love it. And that's absolutely true. We all have obstacles, but we all can make excuses for those obstacles, or we can do exactly what you just said. Is don't waste the energy on the
yeah,
excuses. And I'm a believer in that. But
yeah,
part of the So What Success System is about calculating choices.
hmm,
And you talked about choices in the very beginning, but talk about some of the choices that look, and I see it's getting dark over there. Is it getting dark in Mexico?
no, it's a cloud. It's a cloud coming over, and then you know what? When the sun comes back out, it's just letting you know ain't no excuses, right? And let's make the right calculated choice. It's
Love it. And
always
I
yeah.
in there that you're in Mexico. I just had to throw that part in there.
Yeah, I'm here for work. See, work takes you places, and it's all part of that ladder of just, doing the things that makes you happy and, fulfilling life. And so as for calculated choices, I had a choice to take this job and knowing it had some travel with it. It takes you away from your family and all, and it's family's important to me, and I miss every daily, interaction with my family. But this is growing in life and making those connections with people is what's important to me. It's part of my overall calculated, strategy of life. What makes me happy is to be helpful to other people. And most of the time I put other people in front of myself. I'm learning to choose me more and more, but in the big picture, if I can do something to help somebody, it puts a smile on my face. And after that, the smile becomes, contagious. And people say, why'd you do that? And I'm like, man, that's just who I am. That's what takes me forward to the next step, is how I can help somebody and how it helps us to grow, in the big picture of the world, and yeah, being down here in Mexico just helps me be a better person and seeing different lives and lifestyles and, learning culture. And I think that's what life is about.
Love it. I love it. I'm a huge proponent of traveling too, and seeing the world and relationships and connections. So yeah, I can't agree with you anymore.
Well, I do want y'all to know I'm not at the beach though, so, don't think that I'm down here partying, playing, and I mean, I would love to, but I'm in the middle of the country where it looks like Oklahoma. So,
I never saw that part.
yeah, no, most people don't. They stay on the outside, so I'm getting in the middle and the depths of it all, and I love it. It's great.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. It's all part of the experience. It's all part of the experience. Any other calculated choices you want to share?
You know, it's all strategy. Life is a strategy, right? And so I just do want to say that, when I do things, I think of other people, right? And I think about how my choices affect the next person, right? You asked me to do this interview, and I was like, I get a little hood when I'm nervous, and I'm nervous, right? That's just how we are, But I thought about, I'd love to share my story. It may be boring to some people, but if it's going to help somebody, that's what like I said, that's what I do. And so everything that I do, I think about the next person and how, what I say could affect them, or my actions and how it could affect them. And I think that it's important to not only think about yourself, but how you treat everybody else in the way that it helps them to grow and to learn. And as an example, I don't see myself as a role model by any means, but I'm sure that somebody may look at me that way. And so I try to be the best that I can. And if I recognize that I'm not, I'm just taking that time to realize what I may have done or how it could have affected somebody else. And I try to be better the next time. We all are going to make some mistakes, but recognizing that and owning it and just being yourself and moving forward is really that's my strategy.
I love it. I love it. You've been dropping all kinds of nuggets and it's been good. It's been really good. So yeah, you've had a life, and again, it's only so talk about in this limited amount of time. But I have watched you since we were in high school and known you since we were in high school, and it's just been a joy and a privilege and a pleasure to get close and know more about you and be your friend. I feel like, we're friends. Been to your house and hung out with you, and it was like, this is so cool. Like back in high school, forever would have thought that we would be cool at all.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, we were cool back in high school, y'all. Don't think nothing different, because our class was just amazing. And I think back every time we have a meeting, how amazing we all were. I don't know if it was something in the water or if it was just because we're from the west side of Tennessee. I know it's not real west, but that's what we call it, right? I think it's an amazing class. I hope you could get as many of our people on there, because we all have great stories. We all have similar stories, and we've all just risen to every challenge that has been given to us in this life. And we see that every day with you. Look at all them basketballs behind you. You've been doing and being out and a part of communities.
Too.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna work on that. That's my next project in life. But it's amazing to see the community network that you have and the inspiration that you give to everybody. And it just makes me proud for you.
Appreciate that, Hannah.
And our class.
All right. I think about that, and I said, we were cool, and I don't take that for granted either, how amazing I feel like our class was. And I think it's all absolutely amazing that we're still as connected as we are. And when I said we weren't cool, it was just because you were an athlete and had your group of people that you hung out with, and I was in the kind of group of people that I hung out with, and we just kind of never really interacted. Right. And we were kids, and some judgment and some assumptions that were made, and we just never really connected. And it's just been it's amazing how, and not just you and I, but people, when you talk about our meetings, and for the record, we're planning that's 25th.
25 years, yeah.
Our meetings that we're having for that. Just think about all the people that are talking and connected that in high school didn't talk.
Right. Well, and I want to say to that, 25 years later, we're having these meetings and we can't even have our meetings because we're so excited about talking to each other. And every time it's a growing conversation. It's not just like back in 1995 and 96, 97. What'd you do back then? We talk about today's life, you know, and sometimes people get stuck on the past and just, you know, what happened back then. And man, that's not who we are anymore. We've grown and we've expanded our knowledge, and we got so much more to bring to the table than just what we learned in Jackson, Tennessee. And I think that every time I'm amazed just talking to our group, because man, we're big. Y'all, if y'all don't know, y'all need to check us out. Or maybe you can show up one day, you know, summer's events, and, you know, you can come to the class reunion too. We like it. Don't matter.
I love it. I love it. So you've been a So What success woman. And again, we only talked about a little bit of your story because it's so much more. You're so much deeper. It's so much to it. And I've watched you overcome obstacles and overcome challenges and stay so amazingly positive. And so you implemented the So What success system. You know how to overcome obstacles, eliminate excuses, and calculate choices to achieve So What success. But Hannah, what does success look like for you? What is your personal definition of success?
Man, honestly, this is the truth. Like, I didn't even have to think about it. Just being content in life, right? It's not money for me. I could care less about money. If you put me outside, I'm with nature. You know, I'm in the world that God has given us. I'm with people that He's created, and I can take those the aspects of life and just implement it into mine. It's so natural. Just being content and happy. That's my whole purpose in life, is to just enjoy it. You know, we get one shot. And I think that, to me, success today is just being happy and content. It's not always been that. People look for dollars, you know, right? And it's nice, but I tell you what, dollars don't make me happy. I like having them, but they don't make me happy. It's just being able to be who I am and accepting that, and knowing that if you don't like me, who I am as a person, or we don't jive or whatever, that's cool.
You say so what, right?
I mean, I still got to do what I got to do. You got to do what you got to do, right? But as long as I'm happy, I think that will exude in maybe that's not the right word. Maybe it'll show everybody, you know, that, hey, just being who I am is what's important, and being honest with myself is what makes me successful. And I think that it shows outside of personality, right? Just not just being personal about it, but at work, I think that people appreciate that, you know. And I don't have to put up any walls. I don't have to, you know, change who I am depending on the group of people that I'm with, whether they're big dogs, you know, in the high corporate level, or if they're the people on the shop floor. You know, I mean, I'm always consider myself a worker bee. That's just who I am. You know, I'm never going to see myself as a higher ranking anybody because of a title that I have. A title is for one business, right? It's not my title for life. My title for life is Hannah, and I'm gonna be Hannah every day. That's all I got.
I love it. I love it. Okay, one last question, Hannah. Now, you've been giving advice throughout this entire interview, but the last question is, what advice would you leave our audience with?
You know, just like I said, be honest with yourself. Understand and think about where you want to go in life, you know, and think about not just the small picture of your day to day, but there's so much more to the world outside of your city, outside of your family, you know. And I just think that if you can open your eyes to the differences that everybody has, you know, it's what makes us, you know, special. And being able to open your eyes to differences is really the biggest thing. And I think that if we could do that as a general human race, you know, we would become so much more happier by just understanding everybody. And so that's my piece.
I love it. Thank you, Hannah. Perfect. I appreciate you so much.